everyone. Welcome back again to another exciting episode of the iConis podcast. I'm one of your hosts here, Barry 3D for Deep Dark Delicious. You know it. Hey. And on my side, my co-host, my cousin, my compadre, the one and only
DJ Rod C. Yeah, people, we're in the building. What's going on? Welcome to another episode. Today is going to be a good day. We're going to have some fun.
As always.
You don't know why. Don't you see the letters? Don't you see the words? There's documentation all over the place, people. We don't have streamers, but there's a reason why we here today.
Absolutely. This here is, we're going to let you know, this is going to be a free-forming, just an overall open chat. Why? Because we've hit episode 50. We've hit the 50th episode, and we wanted to do something a little bit different. Sometimes it's nice to get off the beaten path, so to speak, and just enjoy it. For a lot of, and the importance is there's a lot of shows out there that start, they got the best intentions, they do everything, and they push, and at one point, unfortunately, they fizzle out, and that's not a knock on anybody. We know, especially in this time and age, a lot of things don't get past episode 10, for example, if you do a lot of research. So we're happy that we actually hit episode 50.
Completely.
Wow.
Complete. It's a lot of people have, done podcasts, just any type of venture that they've, embarked on. And it's great that, we're basically celebrating this momentous occasion, this monumental occasion. We reached 50, but this is 50 plus. This is more to come. We've reached there, and we got more for people. We got more. Don't you worry. We got stuff.
We got more of a show. We got more guests coming. We got more. You hear me, Morty? You hear me? There's no stopping us, Morty. There's no stopping us.
Wow.
We're just going to keep on going, having more adventures. And what? If you lie about it, no one's going to believe you, Morty, because they're going to believe me. No, so sorry. I love
We just went Rick on you, people. You bet. You just been ricked.
Thank you. So, first and foremost, let's give it up to the one who's made us look so pretty throughout the whole time, nonstop, with our templates, our logo, everything. You can even see it here on my shirt. For those who are watching it on YouTube,
that too.
The Iconis shirt, the background of Rod, where it says Rod C with his name and everything like that. The one and only Jason Reese, also known as who?
J Bird.
J Bird Digital Arts. Thank you so much for all that you do, all the work you put in for our little channel here, our little piece of the internet world. We appreciate it, and thank you. And also another shout out to Jay, because Jay comments a lot on our videos. He watches these videos and hears when Rob's going, Jay Bird, and he's loving it, and he's commenting on some of them. So, he's commented on our Spider-Man 2099 video that he brought back some good memories for him. So we're happy that he's not only doing the work, that he for us and really helping us out, that he also enjoys what we're doing. So we've had him on as a guest on one of our episodes. So you'll see that with him and Dave Sokolowski. So that's one. Two, another, friends of the show and who I work with is A Touch of Gray Matter. So that's myself, Barry 3D, along with Zulf Ali. So you can look up and find his site at Comic Zulf Ali. Also Thomas Patrice, and the man who puts it together, and we cause him the chain smoke a lot, Dave Sokolowski. He's got to put up with the craziness, and times I feel sorry for Dave, but that's A Touch of Gray Matter. Check it out. It's like a show. It's like The View, if it was hosted by either the Plastic Cup Boys or Blue Collar Comedy.
Got it.
So, links down below. You'll see it in one of our featured channels on our YouTube page, but that's and we have over 130 something videos on there and still going. We do like 3 or 4 videos a week. Plus. Yeah, so that show is going really strong, and we're just trying to build up the following, and we're doing live shows again since things have opened back up. So we've discussed everything from parenting and kids and wacky news that we all find, or stories we find, up to the infamous, as everyone's talking about right now. We're not getting into it because it's not the channel, but the infamous slap. We all know the slap we're talking about. We're good. We've moved on. Okay, so that's A Touch of Gray Matter right there. For comics, we're dads. We're on comedy. We have a good time, and we just have teasing each other nonstop. So that's one. Another friend of the show, and it's we're just do another friend of the show is Jimmy English,
Mm.
who has Back to the Balcony podcast. He's been doing that. He's in season 2. I think he's got to be coming to season 3 soon enough. I'm going to be back on there as a guest coming up. So by the time this comes out, might be the time it'll be out later on. And I'll be on there talking about the movie Dirty Dancing with another guest of his, Christine. So we're going to be talking about Dirty Dancing. I got rhythm. So look for the microphone on the black microphone on the red background. Definitely reach out to him. That's for sure. We're going to talk about also Wayne Tennant. He's got his album out there, Curfew Flowers. That's his album that's on Spotify. And as you heard me mention before in a couple episodes, my jam is still Vapors. I like the album, but my boogie jam is Vapors. That's the one that make me get down. And if you hear it come on, I'm busting up the dance floor. So run, because my dancing shoes are on. Unless someone throws on Saturday Love.
I think that was for me, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that was meant for me.
Oh yeah, that was a jab at DJ Rod. He knows. And then of course the places that we like to go to. So where'd I go and buy my books from? And when I'm in Montreal, I'm going back to my old stomping ground, which is Check Swing Comics, right on Taschereau, Houghton Brissard on the South Shore, close to where I grew up, and where we both grew up, I should say. And also when I'm in Montreal, when I'm here in Ontario, of course, west where I live, I always make the drive out to Kitchener. Even though it's a little bit of a drive, it's a nice drive. I go to Kitchener, I hit out Wow Comics, Warehouse of Wonder, and that's another place where I get my books from and stuff like that. If you've seen the episode that we talk about Nova, our guest on there, Joe, took my advice and checked out the comic book store, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, wow!" No pun intended.
But maybe there was a pun intended.
Wow. Bye. And then we've had some good shout outs, and I'll get into those like a little bit afher. Rod, where can people find you? Let them know, man. Or they can request Saturday Love.
They can request Saturday Love in the world of the Twitch. If you come on Twitch twitch.com/DJ Rod C. There you can make yourself known and say, "Hey, I heard about your iConis." Like, "Hey, how you doing? Welcome on in. Welcome to the Scandalous Crew. We just invite you in." And if you make a shout out, it's definitely Saturday Night Love. And I don't see that it's Barry, then I know you guys are following the code. You're following the mission. I only had one thing to do. And I like it. I appreciate that. Cool. So you can find me on there on the world of Twitch. You can definitely find me on Instagram at Mr. Rod C. I'm also hiding out somewhere in the world of Facebook as well. DJ Rod C as well. So these are ways you can find me. I'm all around. I'm going to be putting out some shirts as well. You're going to see I have the QR code. Code, and you can
scan the code.
Scan it, baby. Scan my chest.
I like that.
Yeah. So there you go. Those are other ways you can find me. But don't forget to get this when you're in face to me. We can get to that conversation later.
Right on. Absolutely.
So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
Absolutely. And then, of course, if you want to find myself and you want to find all my links, simply go to barry3d.com. It has everything on there for everything I've spoke about. There's links for all of us. And we're still trying some new stuff out. So we were using a lot of straw poll before. We stopped a little bit. I'm going to pick that up, depending on the fans' reaction on it. I am on Twitch. So if you want to find myself on Twitch, honestly, it's the name of the show, the iConis Podcast. There's no videos up there as of yet. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I love video games. So I'm looking to see if I can connect my system and start playing some video games on there. And then, just having chats on there, having me and Rod on there. And clearly Rod's on there on a regular basis. He's on there like every Wednesday. So there's a lot of times you can see past videos. You see iConis Podcast show up and you see Saturday Love.
Okay, I see you here, sir. I see you up in here. I see you.
I see you, baby. Shaking that ass. Okay, we're good. And that's it. And this is, we're just going to talk about the show and what we've liked about it so far. I mean, I have a lot of fun doing this show for the fact that I get to do this with my cousin on a weekly basis, talking about a subject that I'm passionate about, I enjoy, I love, and then knowing there's people out there that are enjoying it. And what I mean by that, like when we did the first couple of episodes, one of my friends from elementary school who I follow on Facebook. I mean, with people, we know we have people on Facebook, but you might not talk to them, but they're still friends of you on Facebook. They're still friends. Reached out to me and he's like, hey man, good on you for the show. And it was a lot of fun. And we had some good conversations back and forth when we were talking about certain things that we mentioned on one of our episodes. Mm-hmm. And I put up something on our Facebook page. So we have a Facebook page, we have an Instagram page, we got a Twitter page, and we got Twitch. So there's always ways. And of course we got YouTube, and there's always ways you can reach out to me. And we had a good conversation on the Instagram page, on our YouTube page, and on our through Facebook. So it was nice to reconnect with him. So thank you very much, Michael. Looking forward to see what you think about some of these other episodes coming up. And it was awesome. That's the beauty of that. It's just touching base. And then the other part was when strangers comment on stuff, Right. So as I mentioned, Jaybird commented on some of the videos, like the Bionic Man video we did, show we did. Yeah, he that really got that going with him and one of his buddies in a good way. And I mean this all in positive ways.
Right.
Another one was Starjammers. Now this one really touched me. There was one guy in the States he was doing a search, for the Starjammers, wanted to know who the original members were. And I don't know what his project was, but he just wanted to know more about the Starjammers by the X-Men. When he looked on YouTube, he came across that nobody else did a video, or there was no information really on the Starjammers. They were mentioned in the X-Men story, but there was no talk about the Starjammers whatsoever, who they were, who's the original members, their backstory, nothing. And I was proud to say that was one of our earliest episodes that we did, where we cast it, we put it out there, and he wrote, great job. I looked around the web for all these, couldn't find anything. You guys are the only ones that had a video. It was very informative and a lot of fun. Thank you. So when you're getting that from a stranger who's just saying at home going, Starjammers, type. The iConis podcast. All right. And here we are, popped up and he watched it and he enjoyed it. He felt like he learned something from it. Just those two things. That means a lot. So we know, once again, like, subscribe, share. We're trying to get our subscriptions up on all our media, all our platforms, especially with YouTube, so we can hit that, mark, so we can get a vanity name instead of just a number. That what works for me, man. I'm loving it. What about you, Rod?
Listen, for me, definitely love and respect, that I'm doing this with you. I know this is an idea that you basically were the founding of this, brought this together and say, hey, why don't we just try to, we love comics, we love, anime, we just love that type of fanfare type of environment. Why don't we just, do a couple of podcasts just to talk about it? Okay, that's a great idea. Jumped on with that, and honestly, I'm happy. I'm so glad that you brought it to my attention. I'm happy that you allow me to be part of it, because it's a lot of fun doing it with you. Like you said, it's, we're family, we're cousins, and, in that kind of, but we basically share, we've always had this bond over comic books and, action and action figures, just that type of bond. We've had that from donkey years. We had that for a long time. So,
pick me's.
You pick any little thing there, boy, little scruffy little boy there, running up the gap. But that's what we've had that from time, and I appreciate that you included me into this particular project and allow me to be, to express myself and be able to bring, this comical side, more to the forefront. People do again, those who know us,
yes,
they know this is a scaled down version.
Yes.
The world is only seeing a scaled down version. Yeah. And we're getting old. And I think that's also the problem too. We're getting old and realizing, listen, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it I can't jump off the speaker and start dancing and winding upside down off the speaker anymore. I can't do that. AKA, I'm saying that because I know he's gonna pick on that, because he knows at certain time, back in the days, I'll be the crazy one to be saying, just hold my phone. What? Force my pockets will be inverse so I don't. What are you doing? Don't worry about it. And I'm doing some tomfoolery. It's out in the world now. It's out in the world, now in the ether. Now more people know. Those who know was there
king of the dance floor. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. But
we've had a song, and people would have to run in two directions. Some would have to run away to give me room, and others would run to come to see what I was doing. We would tear up a floor.
Oh
I
my
would
goodness.
battle anybody, you know. And
I still remember there was a time that you were dancing. I know we're segueing off of that.
no, that's fine, man.
I know, but everybody just deal with me. This is funny. This is how to know we're so in sync as good cousins that we have fun and we know what people are doing. There's a time, one of many times I should say, but I do remember one time Barry was going in, whatever the case to be, and of course Barry's in his own zone. The rest of the crew knows when he's going in. 2 feet over here, 2 feet over here, 2 feet over there, 2 feet. We're giving him that plus his body. So he's already taken about 2 feet already. So we're looking at 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. So we're like a 6 foot square radius of space. Give him room. He's going in. All right, cool. I remember this one girl trying to come through the crowd, whatever the case to be, and walking by. And as I saying one of those slow, clipped her legs. I was like, woman, you didn't see there was space. There was a reason why. Don't you see the black man, the crazy man is just on the floor? He must be doing something. Take in, don't cross. Foolish morsels. And that was it. So,
what did you learn?
What have you learned? Don't see open floor and walk through it.
No.
Smart cookie. So these are the things that, you know, I'm happy that I've been able to express myself and just have some fun on this platform. And like you said, listen, we get shout outs from people. We have like internal friends and stuff like that. Like, hey, I watched the podcast. Yo, you guys are doing good. Keep it up and stuff like that. And it's great because we're doing this out of love for the culture.
Yes.
Out of fun for what this means to West. And then when we have friends, and the thing is, I personally, don't do it for friends to come up back and say, hey, you did great. If you see it, you see it. You don't see it, you see it, whatever the case to be.
Right.
We want you to share, subscribe, and follow. But that's what we want to do. But I just have to put that shameless plug right there. But that's how we want it to be. But if you got some people, got friends who just come in and just like say, oh, you did pay attention when I said, hey, check out, this is what we got going.
Right.
And you actually watched. And then you actually took something in. And then remember the next time you see me, oh yeah, by the way, I'm checking out what you guys are doing. I'm loving it. It's looking great. I'm like, hey, great.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling that I know that someone is seeing the work, seeing the efforts that we're putting in and are enjoying it. I'm really happy to have that. And I mean, again, we're learning stuff as we go along.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of the information, like Barry said, it's a great thing too, that we basically try to be the different type of guys, not off the beaten trail, and not. Barry said it many times. I've said it, but Barry definitely has repeated many times that, especially when a guest comes on, we're saying, listen, we know there's the magnificent trio. There's the top people, the Soups, the Bats, the Wonders,
yeah,
the Spides,
of course,
the Spider-Man. You know what I mean? And it's all the recognizable ones. But we like to have fun and go for not B-class people, just people who just might have been forgotten.
Yes.
And bring it back to their memory. And this is the thing. I don't want anybody to think that we're talking about B-class listers or anything like that. Listen,
no. It's just that there's so much out there that the media only focuses on the trinities or the main staples in the business,
absolutely.
Right?
But they got to work off of somebody. They got to work off of something. There's somebody else in that comic book that they're working alongside or against. So there's someone else.
Thank you.
Or
being reimagined.
Being reimagined.
Absolutely.
Bring it
and one of my parts I really loved is Mark Miller. So we did early episodes. We did some of a couple of Mark Miller's books, right? We talked about MPH, Wanted, right? And when I shared it there on Twitter, Mark Miller liked it. He I'm like, now he might have saw his name. I don't know if you watched the episode or not. I'm not going to be ego man about it. It's like, oh yeah, he watched the episode. No, but just the fact that he saw we mentioned it and he hit like. Okay,
that's big. That's big.
Absolutely,
I like that.
And we want to get back to more of his stuff. So, because I really enjoy the work he does.
Mm-hmm.
We're not a podcast that's going to talk negatively about anything unless it's in a comical way. If we don't like something, we ain't going to talk about it. Simple as that.
Yeah,
right. And we've only done 50 episodes, so there's so much more to talk about. uh, the other one I like is that when we see an episode of ours go up, and then maybe a couple of days later, another channel is talking about the same character.
Oh yeah,
Right. And that's happened a couple of times. Or we have
yeah.
one in the queue and then theirs get released first. It's not even the fact that I'm watching them, they're watching me. I just like, with COVID, I've gone through watching everything on Netflix and Tubi. So I've got the golden ticket saying, you've reached the end. Congratulations. Buy free coffee and some Visine for your red eyes. So I just I watch more YouTube to find more of the niche stuff that I like. And there's a couple of shows I really do like on YouTube that I enjoy. And, like I said, like, one of them is like, for example, Toy Galaxy. I watched Toy Galaxy with Dan.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's one guy I've been watching for years. And I like how he's evolved and what they've done, and good on him. And don't get it twisted. I've never met him. I never spoke to him. I've never at him. He's never at me in any form. This is not a plug in any way. It's just, this is a show about us. So for me, one of the shows I like to sit there religiously on every Thursday in the afternoon when I finish work, I wait and Toy Galaxy pops up with a new episode and I'll sit there and learn something. And good on him for his writing and his research skills that he does and how they've expanded. So that's one, thing I get into. Another one I got into recently was Culture Junkies. Right. So these guys are on Twitch, they're on Instagram, and it's inspiring because I look out there in the world to see, okay, who's Culture Junkies? And it's nice, and now I'm going to get a little bit political half a second, that there's other people of color that are that have this passion for it. It's someone you can always relate to. So this channel, here we are, it's me and Rod. It's just the two of us. We are people of color, right? We're two black men talking about comic books. And it's always nice to see representation somewhere. So to see like Culture Junkies, and it's like 4 guys, I think, or maybe a bit more. They know they have like a network going. They really got it going.
Right.
But they're all people of color. And I'm like, that is awesome. Like, good on you. Because it shows that the medium crosses over. Right. And then, doing some random videos, you see there's a couple of women that have channels talking about comic books, which is nice to see. It's just nice. That's all I'm saying is it's just nice. It's not just, what a lot of people probably would have thought maybe 30 years ago, that it's just some guy in the basement in a dimly lit room, like Comic Book Man from Simpsons talking about it. It's great to see that it's crossed over. And those people are all from every ethnic background. I don't care, black, white, Asian, male, female, transgender, straight, gay, whatever, all talking about comic books and the influence it has on pop culture.
And that's the greatest thing about YouTube, definitely within the last few years, well, not few years, but definitely in the past 5, 7, 10 years, that you've now starting to see a niche of individuals who are now expressing their love and talking about comics, talking about movies, talking about comic movie relate any that in that particular genre.
Yes.
And then you start to realize that you're not alone in this game, and you're realizing that you don't know everything. There's going to be some knowledge. Someone knows something. Someone might even know a back page, like a page that has paper, like a coffee stain. Like, do you understand what was on that coffee stain? That's something important.
Right.
That probably got deleted, but only I know. And I will let the world know. And I'm like, what?
Absolutely.
That makes so much sense.
Absolutely.
Listen, like emergency. Again, it's not even a plug. Like, but emergency. Oh my gosh,
Emergency Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Chuck. Oh my gosh, he's another man that I'm like, don't know him, never met him, no type of communication, no smoke signals. He doesn't even know that there's a smoke signal coming from Canada towards his house or hovering in his neighborhood or even in his state.
Yeah.
But what I love when this guy comes on, I'd be like, Chuck got information.
Right.
And Chuck is just in. Chuck is like Dan. Like, you know what I mean? And like the Culture Junkies, and I send you're hearing him just like, his thought process makes you think like, I love that theory. So I love that we're like, we're not entry level. We're getting into the feel of everything.
Yeah.
And I feel good that I feel good that, what we're contributing to on this platform, we're contributing to everyone out there, is that we're bringing our different, our flavor, our version of this information.
Yes,
And I'm happy to see and hear people are responding. People are liking what we're doing and like
absolutely.
saying, hey, it's good. Because reality, again, I'm not looking for anybody to come back and knock on our door and say, "Cook, cook, 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 cook. Hey, you guys are doing good." Hey, I'm not looking for that. But if
If it
someone's doing
happens,
it
it's
out
a
of their,
great feeling.
well, that's what I'm saying.
Yes,
Because I'm not looking for it. But when it happens on his own valor, that someone just come knocking on the door, you're like, you're in the car just about to have your Timmy, and you're getting startled, like, oh, who's at my window? Like, I didn't see you coming from behind
right,
the
right.
car window. And you're like, roll it down. Hey, you're doing a great job. Oh, thank you. Roll
Absolutely.
out the window and you're gone. But you didn't expect that. I like it when we have that type of connection. Again, we just
It's
you know what? I can even go on.
it's great. I mean, it's like initially, a couple weeks ago, I did one of my comedy shows.
Hmm.
Right? Well, not one of my comedy. I was at a comedy show. I was performing. I was a headliner at the club over at a comedy bar here in Toronto. When I finished my set, come off, people are walking out, and I'm off to the side, and people came out of their way to say, "Hey, man, you killed it tonight. Your set was amazing. I like this joke you did. I like that joke you did. This had me laughing. My cheeks were hurting. I was laughing so hard." I'm not there looking for it. I mean, some people will stand there and it's like right by the door and eager, like, "Hey, I was a comedian. I was a comedian. I'm
What did
off
you think?
to
What
the
do you think?
back."
What do you think?
Yeah, and people are walking out and they look and they see me, off to the back and do my own thing, and they, where the path is for them to leave,
They're
they
detouring.
deviated to come over and said, "Great friggin' job," and that's a great feeling. So
Yeah.
absolutely, thank you everyone for holding on. I do have to give a shout out to some other people. One and foremost, because he's bigger than me, and when I go home to visit, he will kick my ass. My brother, he's my baby brother, but he's bigger than me. Brian.
Yeah, he ate all the Wheaties. He ate your Wheaties. He just like saying, "Listen, give me the provisions. Give me the potatoes and all that kind of big provision
Right.
stuff."
Let me tell you, my brother is physically taller than me and has more of a build. I play around with him. I won't. So big shout out to my brother Brian. Another shout out to our cousin Kevin.
Yep.
Who
Oh,
commented on some of the earlier episodes, and he's like, "Hey, how come you guys don't talk about what's going on in Phase 4? Your thoughts before it came out?" And this is one
right.
of our earlier episodes that we dedicated that one to our cousin Kevin. So,
Yep.
and then our another cousin of ours, Greg, he listens to the show, and right on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Spread the love.
Hey, listen, we're shouting out. I mean, like again, even my brother, he listens to it as well and everything along that line too. So I mean, like, it's like
What's up,
we have the
Kyle?
support. What's up? So we got support, and this is what is great. That I mean, that people are recognizing, knowing us, that these are passions that we have, and just glad to see that. Listen, you guys, what, doing something with it, and we're actually getting some nice response outside of the family network, which is
Absolutely.
just great. That's the greatest
Absolutely.
thing about it.
And what I like is different is you always want to get into the genre. So every show, let's look at it. All the ones we mentioned, plus
Mm-hmm.
way many more, have more viewers, more views on their videos, on their more streams and all that. And that's great. It's not a competition. We just want to find our little corner in there too, with our fans' help. But
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them will talk comics for comics. They'll talk, writers and creators and artists.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about that to a degree. We more
Right.
will give, and some of them will just give up full out storylines and put timelines into when this happened, because characters will bounce back and forth between different issues, which is great. Our aspect was, let's give a little bit of history. Let's give a little bit of background on the writer, the creator. Once we could find that information, we share it with you all, little tidbits that way. We talk about some storylines that we like, and then we think about it. How would it translate into a movie, a series, a cartoon, something along those lines? And we cast it. And that's where we are different, because we actually had these conversations. We used to have conversations years ago saying, well, if this hero from DC had to fight this hero from Marvel, doesn't matter, if we're talking to someone from the Legion of Superheroes to take on someone from, I don't know, the Hellfire Club, the Hellions, who would win? And in a one-on-one battle, and we're going through their powers and everything like that, and their backstory. They didn't play time, place, whatever, right? We just threw them in there, and we would, and we would have these conversations. It would be me, you, Winston, Kevin, Thomas,
yes,
right? And my brother, your brother. We would get into heated debates, and these are the debates we would have at our houses, in the car, on the way to the club. Then you hit the club, everyone's dancing, doing their stuff, you know. Then the
When we're
club
done,
done, have the debate still walking to Burger King from like
part two.
Thunderdome,
Let's continue.
right down to Burger King on Crescent Street, then back in the car all the way back home, and we're going home and still having these debates. And people want to know what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Where a lot of people are going, yo, man, I met a girl. We was like, yo, matter eater lad. Yeah, he could turn around and take on Legion. You mean Professor X's son, Legion? Yeah, no, he couldn't. These are the conversations.
These are the conversations.
So we take it further at this point, and we said, well, who can play them? Who can voice them? Because voice acting work is huge. Right? It went from comic books being in the don't talk about it, keep it in the corner, nobody has to know, to now it's out in the open, and it's a billion-dollar industry, regardless of who you follow, regardless of what movie you watch, what show you watch. So voice actors are getting a lot more recognition, which is great.
Yeah.
Artists are getting a lot more recognition. They're being treated as rock stars at this point, which is great. So our show here, the iConis podcast, is the icon is whoever we talk about, and then we cast it, because I don't see any of the other shows sitting there trying to fan cast it. I'm sure there's shows out there that do it. Awesome. I just haven't come across one yet.
Correct.
I don't think there's that many that fan cast it, maybe as serious as we do, or maybe they do, and I just don't know. And it's not a knock. I'm just saying, I admit it. I don't know. But this is what I like that we do. We fan cast it, all these past ones, and some of them we didn't have to, and a lot of them we did.
Right.
So this is the fun of the show. It's rereading, at times I don't remember everything off head. So I'll reread the storylines. I'll reread the first 12 issues, because that's where I would afford my opinion, is reading the first 12 issues. The first 12 issues of any comic book run tells me I've just covered that year.
Right.
Generally speaking, if they have an annual, throw it in there. And if there's a particular storyline, all right, I'm going to jump to that famous storyline or miniseries and do it that way and pull it out. And as you said, I like the fact of pulling out some of the ones that don't get the light shined on them. We have X amount of Batman movies and media, from cartoons to movies to TV shows. Same thing with Superman, right? Great, awesome. But there's no Blue Beetle show. It's coming out. Nova. We did an episode on Nova. It's out. They only mentioned Nova just recently. Okay, right? Man-Wolf. We talked about Man-Wolf.
Yep.
You've seen the actor, as we told you in that episode. That was like episode 29. We told you the actor was already in there in the Spider-Man movies, but he never took the role as Man-Wolf. Will they do it? Don't know. Right. So we went through a lot of these. We went in hard. Big shout out to my buddy, Sean. Sean turns out he listens to every episode. I see Sean every week, and we get in discussions after the fact about it. He's like, make sure I know when the show's coming out. So every Tuesday,
he's a big tall guy. Yes, I know you're listening to right now. Yes, and we're saying right now, Sean, you're listening right now. Yes, this is why we love you, bro. This is why we tell you what dates are coming out, because we value our lives.
Yeah, exactly. So he knows. And for everyone else, every Tuesday, 10 o'clock our time here in Toronto, the video goes up on YouTube. It goes live on YouTube. The following day, the Wednesday at 10 o'clock, the audio goes up on our podcast page, which is Podbean. So it's iconis.podbean.com. And then it streams out to every place you get your podcast from. So if it's on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcast, the list goes on. Any place you get your podcast from, that episode is there. Just add it to your queue, stream away. And we always appreciate the comments. So on that, hit me here. Rod, what was one of your episodes that you like that we've done so far? Offhand, if something comes up, or one character we covered so far.
Listen, and I had a feeling you're gonna drop that. Listen, for one, it was a recent one we just did, was the G.I. Joe movie. We talked about that. That brought in some good. So we went in. We went on that one.
Yeah, we did.
What else did we pass myself? Look, because it's what I also was liking when we were talking about the Masters of the Universe. When we talked about the Masters of the Universe, like more of like the reboot, because we kind of, that particular one, it was one of them that we did we did the history of it and everything like
Yeah,
that, but it was more related for the release from the Master Universe or Revelation. So
right.
that was kind of like the base off of that.
You broke
But
that down.
yeah,
Yeah.
those two were said. And two more. I see it right now. That's why like I just have to see it. Samurai Jack
Yes.
and Grandar Z, aka
Grandizer. Yeah. Yeah. Grandizer.
Grandizer or Goldorak. So to
Right.
some in this place they call Quebec. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Vive le Québec.
Leave it at Quebec. We'll
C'est
leave it
ça.
at Quebec.
Bonjour tout le monde.
Oui, merci, bonjour, comment ça va? C'est bien? C'est bon?
Oh
C'est bon?
man.
All right. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
those are Rosemont. What about you?
Oh, okay. Okay. Right off the bat, I'm gonna say Thundar the Barbarian.
I like it was there too, and I saw it. I'm like, I did enjoy Thunder. I did enjoy Thunder.
I
But
have to say, yeah.
a lot of our stuff is good ones. It's hard to minimize to like just a small amount. I
You
have to
know,
visually see it to see. Yeah.
for a cartoon, I want to do more of the old school cartoons, right? So we are going to definitely cover those. There's a lot out there that I want us to go back, like Transor Z, Transor Z, but I mean we covered Goldorak. So Thunder the Barbarian, absolutely, that's one that stood out for me. And there's for who knows me knows that there's a couple of more cartoons coming out of me, a whole lot. That's for sure. The $6 Million Man, I enjoyed a lot. Especially when coming down with a casting for it, right? I think it still can go, on this. I have a whole premise with some of the Marvel stuff, Starjammers, because I'm a huge Starjammers fan. I want to see more of the Starjammers. So those are ones that really stood out for me. One I had a good laugh with is Transformers. Where it was all Starscream's fault for everything that happens in all the Transformers
That's right,
series.
I remember
And
you
he just listen to Megatron when Megatron says, "What are you doing?
You had one job, just
one
follow.
job, Starscream, one job." And he shot the mountain, which caused a vibration for one of the robots to fall over into the healing beam. And then it's like, explore, repair. And then that's it, because no. So those were some fun ones I had. I had a ball with Dave when he was on, and we were talking about some of the Mark Miller stuff.
Right.
Nemesis. NPH was cool. Nemesis, yeah.
Yeah.
Like every time I look over the list, there's a lot that stand out for me.
That's the thing.
And then of course, wrestling. I love talking.
You're going to talk about Vince. I know you can talk about Vince.
Right, Vinnie Mac, baby.
Vinnie Mac, baby.
Voodoo Kim Mafia. If you know, that with Vince McMahon, when it was me, you, Dave, along with Jason. Jason was on that episode. Jay Bird himself. That was beautiful, and that's what I want to do more of. I know I do want to talk more going forward. The next bunch of episodes, I want to talk about more cartoons. I still want to keep on our same formula, casting the characters, and there's so much more we can talk about. I want to talk about, when I say cartoons, I'm talking old school. So I'm talking Battle of the Planets, Gatchaman, right? Guyver.
Holy.
Those are my animes right there, right? There's video games I want to talk about. I just finished playing the trilogy for a video game called Mass Effect that I know Henry Cavill is talking about. He wants to do the lead role, and I played all 3 games. And the beauty of it, like my brother-in-law got me into, he's like, "Barry, you got to play these games." And I'm like, okay. And I just played them over the past few weeks, blitzed through them. And when I play a game, I like to find every little thing in the game. I don't play linear. And to show you this, it's such a vast story space opera. Like if you released it now, give it a good budget behind it. It's already got the fan base. The storyline is so strong that every decision you make in the game reflects what happens in the other 2 games. So you can play the game good or bad. And it always gives you 3 options, sometimes 4 or 5 when you get like certain aspects, right? So you can have like the good option, the neutral option, the bad option as the answers. And that so if someone dies in the game, you do not see them in game number 2 or 3. You can have relationships with people in the game that will transfer into game number 2 and 3. You just use your same load file. So
that's very Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I didn't realize. A lot of times you play the game, it's like, oh, you have a choice, this and that. The game ends, you
Right.
play the
And
continuation
that's
of the
it.
game, and
And
that's
that's
it.
it.
There's no any choice you made in game number 1 doesn't reflect game number 2. This
Right.
one, it does. Like, you get to a point where you have to save either one person or another. You have to. It's one or the other. No choice.
Okay.
When you make that choice, the person you don't save does not show up in game number 2 or 3. If you're playing that game to be a good guy, get those Paragon points, they call it. Oh, okay, then you're going to play and you're going to persuade people, but in a nice way. When you get to those tough decisions, it opens up that option for you. And the storyline is so vast about, you're in Earth, invasions, the alien races, and how it comes across that it would be sick. I mean, it would, to me, it would rival Star Wars as a trilogy if it was done properly. But they couldn't do it in 3 movies. It'd have to be as a series, but you'd have to really put the budget behind it. And the story, don't change the story. The story is, it is perfect the way it is. And there's so much lore they built into that game. So these are things I want to talk about, right? In the future. But you can tell I got passion for that. So yeah, that's some good gameplay right there. Graphics are good. That's what I'm looking forward to. So these are the things we enjoy. Things are starting to open back up. So hopefully we'll get to a Comic Con at some point, like we did. We have some of our older videos up there. If you look through our YouTube channel, you'll see some of us at a Comic Con going around, some pictures. That's just the fun of it, man. It's just the fun. Yeah. It's literally kid in a candy store. I know I'm a grown man talking about comic books, but support it.
Listen, it's our generation. This is the norm.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, our generation, our age bracket, comics, movies, video games. Yeah. 30 years ago, this age bracket, this would not be their norm.
No.
For us, this is our norm. And that's why you shouldn't make it seem like, oh, it sounds weird. Like, no. I'm sure, again, we know people can literally end our podcast right now. Have a great night. See you all later. Have a good day. Whatever. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Look and find, and you'll come across another set of individuals talking about something like this, and they're in our age bracket, and they're saying like, yeah, this is the gospel. This is the word. This is water. This is like life. Like, I don't know what. Don't get it twisted, people. Don't get it twisted. Comics and videos and it's life. It's life.
Absolutely.
Now make sure you have a proper job that you don't take
support your habit.
Careful. We are not liable for that statement. Don't get us in trouble, guy.
Yeah. No. I mean, like, have a job, support your habit, and have
disclaimer.
Exactly. Disclaimer. And make sure, let me look at the camera right now. Make sure you have open communication with your significant other. What I mean by that is when you go to Comic Con and you buy a figure for $75, don't go home and tell your significant other you only paid $40.
Don't do it. Ask us how we know.
Because
ask us how we know. We know friends.
Bill. And then, all those Taibo classes that she's been taking that you've been out not knowing about but wow, you about to be this punching dummy. Good luck.
Cross, XXO,
semicircle. We just
round kick,
mash and see what happens.
Round kick,
ultra combo.
Oh, help
finish
me.
him. Yeah. So, these are the things we talked about. So this is what I'm looking for. So yes, I'm looking for, as I said, ones I'm going to definitely get into at one point is Micronauts. We know me and Micronauts. I'm talking.
Micronauts. You said it nearly from the beginning of this whole podcast and platform beginning. Micronauts is somewhere in there. It's just eventually at one particular time, ladies and gentlemen, you will see the words Micronauts going across the title at some point.
I'm going to lose it when we talk about it. you see
so I'm just gonna sit here. I'm like saying, yes, I know they start with M. There are. I'll play the naive guy. Yeah, I know there's small people, just to get him pissed off, and then he'd be like, "What do you mean small people? Let me tell you about the Micronauts." And I'd be like, "And action."
He knows how to push that button. That's true. So yes, Guyver, you can break it in. Micronauts, you can expect, right? Shogun Warriors, absolutely. We got to go in on that for sure. those are things growing up. The comics series, Robotech. I know it
Robotech.
had 3 different.
Thundercats would be another one. Robotech.
These are the ones that are popping
right
in my head just right now. I want to talk about the Super 7, and when I'm talking about it, I'm talking like Freedom Force or the Sentinels or the Young Space Sentinels, however the show. Man.
Yeah, I want to throw in a Visionary in there as well.
Knights of the Magical Light.
Visionaries.
Yes, absolutely. Okay.
And this is what we're talking about, everybody. If you're listening to those who know these ones, I'm sure at least of the 7 to 8 characters we just dropped, I'm sure you at least know, I've heard of at least a third to half of them.
Absolutely.
I'm just telling you, and that's what we're talking about. We want to bring these type of characters, these type of stuff, I say back to the limelight, but just bring it so we can have a discussion and just talk about it, because we know that if we're passionate and we're having fun saying these names just off the cuff of our head, he or she who is listening at this moment in time must be saying, "Oh snap! I forgot about that one. Oh, what are you talking about, Mike? My brother used to get that comic book. Oh, what? Oh, yeah. So we're catching you on the ooze. We're gonna catch you on the ooze. We're gonna catch you on the ooze.
Come on, I'll throw 2 more at you, and one I think we're probably gonna do right because it's the month, right? So one of them is Mighty Orbots.
I'm done. Good night, everyone. Have yourself a great night. When we do Orbots. Oh, sorry. Oh my gosh, guys! The mental flashback keeps putting in my head. Yo, I used to come across that on YouTube a couple of years ago, and I would just like,
go
play
Mighty Orbots. Go Mighty
If they
Orbots.
did that now, oh my God! Sorry, we're breaking into it right now. We don't have no notes. We can just say, oh my God, if they did that now. Oh, sorry. I apologize in advance, people. Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry. Holy, that's one of my favorites. That's
right.
One of my friggin'
favorites. Thank you. Mighty Orbots. We're not even playing with that. Mighty Orbots. Come on now, man. Famous words of Ed Lover. Come on, son.
We'll throw some Gundam on you. We're doing some Robotech. We might as well just flip over and go some Gundam on you. Yeah.
Mighty Orbots. You can't go wrong with that. Now, I thought I had a clip on my phone. That's what I was looking for right now. For you gotta forgive me on that. I thought I had a clip on my phone about Mighty Orbots. I'm sure I did. But so that's one. Was it? No, it's not this one. And then let me hit you with my other one that I was thinking about. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. Is this it?
If anybody's watching, you look at me just twitching. I'm like, here goes the pin.
I know I can't play the video, but hold up. Let me see. Here we go.
Right.
Mighty Orbots.
Come on now, son. Come on, son. Even me in reflection saying, come on, son.
Right?
Yo.
Mighty Orbots. We need.
Oh, my head is now mentally flipping, like really trying to process
a
modern day, up to date. Listen, I'm telling you, people, if you haven't had the chance, whereas I think we might have had this conversation slightly, if not,
Mighty Orbots
with Voltron, when they did the remake for Voltron, the legendary Defenders of the Universe.
Yeah.
When they did that, golf clap. So my head now thinking, if they brought that and gave that life and gave that at least like a 7 series life where you were like saying, yeah, that was good. I would say still try to keep Mighty Orbots, keep a little hint of the comical kitty aspect of it.
You have to.
But you have to. But give us some modern depth on that. Wow. I'm telling you, I'm not saying guarantee, but I'm gonna tell you, anybody's gonna watch that. Nah, let's be nice. We're not gonna try to. I don't want to put it in your ear and blight it. I'm not gonna blight it. Okay, but I'm gonna say there's like a 98%. People will be looking at me like thinking, "Holy Toledo, Batman! Who are these guys?" And the old generation, I guess, will be like saying, "Oh, Oh, you guys are not ready, and
You
and
don't
and
know.
and you don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know what's coming down the pipeline.
You don't know.
Sorry,
No, no,
sorry,
no.
sorry,
See,
people.
so
Sorry.
now here's the other one that I wanted to talk about. We probably to talk about in the next, couple of weeks, because right now we got a theme going on that April being the
Oh,
fourth month. We're counting
yeah.
anything with four in it, right? So
Right.
four
Right.
people, and it just came to be brainstorm. We should do this because this would fall into our four category. Even if we got to
Okay.
squeeze it in somewhere. Galaxy Rangers.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining iConis podcast today. It's been a great, wonderful event. We're about to break off and start to gather ourselves and talk about the board members and try to come back to like, what the? Aw, man.
Galaxy Rangers.
Yo, snap,
Galaxy
son.
Rangers.
Snap, son.
One of the
Okay.
baddest theme
All right, son.
songs around.
All right, son. Okay, son. You got it. You got it. He's
Galaxy.
not playing with you, people. He's not playing.
Not playing.
He's
I
not
know we were
playing
trying
with
to. Sometimes we sit down behind here. It's like, who should we do? And we try to do a theme. So we had like a March Madness where we brought on a whole lot of guests for March, and we still have
Mhm.
another one of our guests coming up in the near future. But for Galaxy Rangers, with Gooseman hit his little badge, turn into whatever he needed to turn into. Gunslinger had his own spaceship. Cowboys and Galaxy Rangers.
Listen, we did Silverhawks, so this is just a beautiful segue over.
Yeah.
And if we did that, like, trust me, Galaxy Rangers, just go in, man. Just go in. File the bombardier. File the bombardier. Take it out.
Put him out of his misery. Galaxy Rangers. There we go, man. Done. There we go. Done deal. So this is we just wanted to do this episode as a thank you to everyone out there, and this is like a little bit special. Yep. It's just the fun that we're having, and we're glad that you enjoy it. So we are going to ask you, for the people who watch, the people who listen, very small ask. Subscribe to our media wherever you find the media, be it if it's on, as I said, wherever you get your podcast from. Put it in there in your favorites. Let it always pop up. You always see the new episodes. If you're able to, go on to YouTube, subscribe to our channel, see what we have there. Helps us out. Even the liking the videos helps us out. Subscribing to our channel helps us out. Yeah. Add us to your anything, Twitter, Twitch,
Instagram.
Twitch is coming, but Twitch, Twitter, Instagram,
But no, you can do that right now. I mean, if you're on Twitch and you see it, just follow.
Yeah.
Follow us, whatever the case may be, so you'll be prepared that when we start promoting it through Twitch, you get the notification, just like any of our other platforms. So yeah,
absolutely, very smart, very smart. And if you look at for Barry 3D on TikTok, you'll see that I do put up some videos of myself, or a lot of our videos are just little snippets from our from the iConis podcast. This is where my heart is at. So absolutely, if you want a iConis t-shirt like I'm wearing right now. So if you want the iConis t-shirt, for those who are watching the video, we have our store at Redbubble, so you can get the iConis t-shirt, you can get the Barry 3D merch, and you can get this on t-shirts, hoodies, pull-up, zip-up sweaters, cups. We have the logo on a lot of products. Go ahead, order. All that helps the show. That helps the channel. We also have a coffee site. So if you look up at the top of our YouTube page, you'll see there's a little button coffee. Tip, buy us a coffee. There you go. And all this helps us to keep this all going.
Got it.
So Rod, what about you? Any future projects? Any future projects, future characters, anything that stands out that you absolutely have to talk about? I mean, we know I'm going to do Guyver and Battle of the Planets and Micronauts and Mighty Orbots. You know that's in my wheelhouse right there.
Yeah, like you were talking about Robotech. Definitely that'll be one. I definitely gonna want Voltron. I definitely want to just the original one,
right.
Thundercats. The original ones I want. We can definitely with that one. We'll even go with the new version, but it's the Thundercats itself.
Yeah.
Those are like the cartoons and stuff like that. Oh, it's so hilarious hilarious in the sense that I thought of someone this week, and it was driving, so I didn't even get a chance to write it down. But I thought somebody it was an older character back from like mid '90s, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't know how you slipped my mind, but I got to try to remember that one. But but in general, listen, there's a whole truckload. That's the scenario with this is that um oh snap. I nearly had it. I think I nearly had it. I was thinking of a show
Uh-huh.
and there was a character in there, and that's what I was like thinking, oh, I haven't thought of you in a hot minute. We should talk about you. Yeah, trust me, I'm gonna come back to that.
It'll
Anyway,
come
sorry.
back.
So
It'll come back.
my mind was nearly going there, and I'm like, oh, I have to get board. Come back. Let's come back. Come back. But definitely, I definitely want, like you're saying, want some cartoons and some comic characters. Um, even people like Green Arrow, but
Mm.
I'm not even talking from from the sense of the original Green, although they're both the original. We're not talking about the
Yeah.
WCW version. I want to talk about the Ollie, Ollie from back in the days, because now I'm thinking about Dinah Lance, Black Canary. I,
Yes.
I want to go from that aspect again.
Right.
So we're talking from, those type of characters. Um, we can even go with original Green Lantern.
Right.
I'm thinking like the Justice Society. So I'm thinking from that group.
Oh yeah.
There's what I'm thinking. Like we're gonna talk about. I want to talk about guys and people that characters that we just like. It's like you were not you were, but you were like at a time you were at your height. There must have been a reason why you were at the height.
Yeah.
Let's bring you
Exactly.
back and let's talk about them and just basically say that you don't get lost in the ripple effect of time and no one's bringing you back to have a conversation about.
No, exactly. And I know we've done a lot of Marvel, so I want to just kind of balance that out, do a little bit more DC, do a little bit more
And
Image and Wildstorm,
that's what,
Top
yeah.
Comics, right?
Oh,
Independence.
right.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not that we have a preference over one over the other. We like them all equally. It's just that we were just on a Marvel kick with everything going on. Especially now. Like, I mean, Moon Knight just came out, and I just saw episode 1. So by the time this comes out, a couple episodes, maybe the third episode will probably be out by the time this gets out. Probably. Or close to it. But episode 1, I was all on board with how it was going, and no spoilers, just saying I personally enjoyed what they're doing so far, and happy to see that they're going with a more mystical thing. And I can see that happening more and more. It's just more of a mystical aspect. So Moon Knight has a lot of a magic influence base on his character, right? Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch. So it seems that this whole new phase 4 is dealing more with magic. Even at the end of Eternals, you got the guy touching, the Vorpal blade there, the Black Knight, and the voice you hear there is Blade. So okay, it's there could be a whole Midnight Suns kind of thing getting together, talking about Ghost Rider coming back.
Yeah, actually, I can see that.
Right, and if they do that and do a Midnight Suns movie, wow. So that is that. As I said, we just wanted to do this episode really as a thank you to everybody. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the comments. Spread the love. If you're able to help the channel grow, it's greatly appreciated. And if there's a character that you want us to talk about, or you're curious about, or you want to hear what we can say or do about the character, drop them in the comments. We will reply. I'm very quick to reply. So put it either in YouTube or Instagram. Those are the ones we reply the fastest on, but you can put it anywhere on our Facebook page. Add it on, and you don't miss out. You don't want to miss out. Yeah. And we got we got more guests coming. We will be talking more about wrestling because I'm all about AEW. I got to start watching New Japan, the videos too. But AEW to me is fire. But I'm a little bit worried because they're bringing in so many that some people seem to be kind of disappearing. That I was kind of getting behind. So Tony Khan, don't get too big for your britches, man. Keep it going. Keep that momentum going. I know this is coming out. By the time this comes out, obviously WrestleMania is gonna be done. I'm very excited to hear more about Stone Cold coming back in the ring to fight Kevin Owens. He hasn't stepped in the ring in 17 years kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he started getting back in ring shape. The rattlesnake, broken glass, but sends chills, man. Chills. I got chills. They're multiplying.
×2.
Right? So that is it for my aspect. Rod, once again, give them some final words, thoughts. What's your thoughts going on?
I want to say again, thank you to all the subscribers, all the followers, those who've commented, who's been supporting us from the beginning, and even from last week. those who joined in and who are listening in and finding us for the first time, welcome to the iConis podcast. And I hope that you like what you hear, because today again was just more of just a relaxing conversation, a 50th episode type of anniversary, just like melee of fun and just chatting. Take a moment. You're hearing a couple of the characters that we spoke about already. It's in the YouTube. Go check it out. Sit back, have a little drink, sit back and relax and listen in. If you're on your way to work, listen in and everything along that line. But I will definitely say thank you for those who've been with us. We still got a lot, as you can tell. You can hear. We got still a bag of tricks, bags of stuff to pull out and just lambaste everybody with. So we're going to be having so much fun. So listen, yeah, I'm getting myself, like Barry said, what's going on for me for this year. I'm trying to make some extra moves, definitely with the DJing on Twitch and live, because, places are opening back up. I got, a couple of stuff, coming up and everything online. Yes, I got my merch on. I just came out from outside. Again, self-branding, this is what you got to do. So I just come in, hit record. We're playing right now. I have this. So, hit me up. I will get you organized to get yourself a Rod C t-shirt. If you're interested, a hat. I'm getting myself organized with, a Shopify, one of those type of links, and get that set up. Just debating which one I'm going to go with. But anyways, that's all to say. If you're interested, you like what you see, hit me up. Leave a message on iConis. Support your people, friends, them, and support us with the share, the like, and subscribe.
Absolutely. And by chance, if you get any of the merchandise that we have on, like I have on, Rod has on, hashtag us.
Take a picture.
Take a picture and hashtag us.
Yeah.
We have all the hashtags at the bottom. So you'll see my hashtag is Barry3D at large and Rod is DJ Rod C. That's a hashtag. Mm-hmm. Put out the hashtag, take a picture, hashtag it. So this way we can see it, or hashtag iConis podcast. We will see it and definitely comment on it. So definitely thank you. And just let us know if there's anything that comes up. I know the episode before this was on the UFOs. So curious to hear what people thought about that. Mm-hmm. Because these are characters you probably never really heard about or in depth. So the UFOs, let us know what you thought about that episode. Here we go for another 50. Big things coming. We growing. When we put the votes out there, cast the votes, all that stuff.
Let's go.
On that note, as I said, thank you. And remember, this whole world was created by a pencil, a piece of paper, and imagination. Keep on dreaming.
I got chills. They're multiplying. We'll just say, letting everyone welcome. Enjoy yourself. Have yourself a wonderful time. I'll be very calm right now. Now, I'm out, people. No.
#Saturday Love. Peace.